I want to talk very briefly about the media and standing up to the mob. Um, this is it's an interesting thing going from being a DA and having some high profile cases and working with the media to now doing some defense work and seeing how public sentiment can be changed, manipulated, or otherwise kind of get it wrong. I got a case right now involving a kid on an e-bike, and there was involving a man. Things were basically there was a video that was released that only showed half of the story, and it's interesting from this side of the fence to see how things can go wrong when you've got evidence that you don't want to release, especially in a case involving juveniles, that show the other side of the story. And in the South Bay, where I live, in Southern California, you get all these kids on e-bikes riding around. I don't know if that's a national problem, but it's basically a bunch of 14 and 15-year-olds who, as 14 and 15-year-olds do, there's been some problems. They get together and they're like these little electric chopper gangs going around, and my community has kind of had it with these guys. Well, the straw that broke the camel's back is this case that I become involved in, where we have the entire video. And I've got to say, despite public outrage and public sentiment, essentially what happens, there's an adult man who starts this entire confrontation with these kids. And what gets released to the media is just showing the end, where they basically defend one of their buddies that he goes after. All the kids are 14 years old. And I got to say, I've got a couple of young detectives on this, the Hermosa Beach Police Department, who followed the evidence and did exactly what police officers are supposed to do. They put together this case. They did an outstanding job. They maintained an open mind, and they listened to the defense, and they listened to the parents of this one kid who's basically at the bottom of this pile, and realized that he was a victim. And they kept an open mind despite the media. And every once in a while, the process really does work the way it's supposed to. And sometimes they got to go against popular opinion to do that. So kudos to those detectives. And, it's one of the things you learn in this business as a prosecutor and as a defense lawyer. You really do have to keep an open mind and hear all the evidence before you make any decisions. So that's my closing argument today. It takes a lot of integrity to do that. And sometimes the system actually works.